Welcome to What If It All Goes Right, the podcast where we flip the script on obstacles and turn them into opportunities. I'm Angela Gargano, 6-time American Ninja Warrior, Miss Fitness America, keynote speaker, and someone who knows firsthand what it's like to face setbacks and wonder, is this for me? I've torn my ACL on national television, worked the 12-hour overnight shifts as a biochemist, and battled my own doubts about how to chase my goals while juggling life's chaos. But through it all, I've learned one powerful truth. It's not about avoiding challenges. It's about how you view them. The difference between success and staying stuck, it's all in your mindset and what you do next. This podcast is here to remind you that every single person you admire has faced obstacles. The real magic happens when you decide to see those hardships as stepping stones to something greater. Each week, we'll dive into powerful stories and practical tools and mindset shifts to help you take control of your life and ask the big question, what if it all goes right? You'll leave each episode empowered, inspired, and equipped with the actionable steps to create the life you've been dreaming of. Because the truth is, you're stronger than you think, and your obstacles are just opportunities in disguise. Let's rewrite your story together. Get ready to feel inspired, take action, and see what happens when you start asking, what if it all goes right? Hello there, and welcome back to What If It All Goes Right, the podcast where we explore the mindset shifts and bold actions that help us live a life we're proud of. And I'm your host, Angela Gargano, and today's episode is inspired by a powerful thought. What if tomorrow isn't promised? How would you show up today if you knew there may not be a next time? This idea hit me recently when I noticed everyone was freaking out about the potential TikTok ban, and suddenly people were posting the videos they've been holding back, sharing their real selves, and finally saying, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to do me. It was wild, but also deeply inspiring. It made me wonder, why do we wait for a last chance moment to act like ourselves or go after what we want or put ourselves out there? So today we're going to dive into this idea of showing up fully, not waiting for someday and taking bold, authentic action. Let's get into it. So first off, before I dive into this episode, I'm here today. Literally, I promised myself I was going to be doing these podcast episodes weekly, and it is now almost 10 o'clock at night. I have already showered. We had a snow day here in Austin, which is crazy. Austin, Texas had snow. My dog got to see snow for the first time. But I promised myself that I'd make this podcast episode. And I want to say that this episode was inspired by one of the women that I follow. She's amazing. Her name's Tansy. And she has said this on her stories on Instagram. And I really got deep into me. I was like, yes. I was like, why are we not just being ourselves? So let's dive in. So first I want to talk about why we wait. Why do we hold back from ourselves from taking risks or chasing our goals? Sometimes it's fear of judgment. We worry about what others think or say. Sometimes it's perfectionism. We tell ourselves, I'll do it when it's ready, when I'm ready, or when it's perfect. And sometimes it's procrastination. We think we all have all the time in the world, so we push things off until later. The truth is, later is not guaranteed. Tomorrow's not promised. And if you keep waiting for the perfect time, you might miss out on the chance entirely. So the TikTok fan frenzy was a perfect example of this. People stopped caring about filters, about trends, about algorithms, and they just showed up. They posted the videos they've been too scared to share. They danced like no one was watching and finally acted like themselves. And you know what happened? It was magnetic. It reminded me, and maybe you too, that magic happens when we stop overthinking and we just start being unapologetically ourselves, like myself here on the podcast here. I keep thinking I need this like fancy setup, and I'm like, oh, well, if I don't have my hair all done and like my makeup on, like maybe I shouldn't be doing this podcast. But I'm like, you know what? Like most of the time I'm just hanging out here in my sweats with my dog, and I'm just going to be authentically myself without makeup on and just show up and say what I got to say. So here's the big question. If tomorrow wasn't promised, how would you show up today? What would you say to the people you care about? What risks would you take? What version of yourself would you let the world see? I want you to take a moment to sit with that. If you're honest with yourself, you might realize there's a gap between how you're showing up now and how you want to show up. And what I've learned is waiting for someday is a trap. There's no better time to start than literally right now. If you want to live a life that feels bold, meaningful, and authentic, you have to stop waiting and start doing. And that doesn't mean you have to overhaul your entire life overnight. It means taking one step forward today. So if you're ready to stop holding back and start showing up as your best and most authentic self, here are some actionable steps you can take, because here on my podcast, I'm all about let's actually take action, right? Do the one thing you've been putting off. So what's the one thing you've been waiting for the right time to do? Whether it's starting the project, reaching out to someone, or putting yourself out there, I want you to do it today. 2, I want you to speak your truth. Is there something you need to say to somebody, a friend, a family member, or even yourself? Don't wait. Speak your truth. And I had a powerful reminder of this from a friend of mine who said to me, because I was all worried. I'm like, what will someone think if I speak my truth and I say how I feel? And they're like, that's on them. That's their problem. And she said to me, take your power back. Take your power back. You can say what you need to say, and you can have the feelings you want to feel about something, and it's their problem with it. That doesn't matter. Like, you can totally have that and have your power back. Let go of perfectionism. Remember, it's better to start messy than to wait for perfect. Whatever you're holding back because it doesn't feel ready, I want you to put it out there anyway. 4, I want you to embrace your authenticity. Stop trying to fit into someone else's mold. I want you to show up as you. The right people will be drawn to your authenticity, and the rest does not matter. And reflect on your priorities. Are you spending your time and energy on what truly matters? If not, take a shift, because life is too short to spend on things that don't light you up. Wow, I'm getting teary-eyed here as I'm talking about this, because I've been thinking a lot about lately about what actually does light me up. Like, when I do this podcast, I'm so lit up. When I'm speaking on stages and doing my keynote, I am so lit up. When I'm actually teaching webinars, I'm so lit up. But there's certain things I've been doing right now that have just been not lighting me up, and it doesn't feel like there's ever an end. So I know for me personally, I'm going to take a deeper look into that. So I've had my moments where I held back and where I didn't share my ideas and I didn't go after what I wanted, or I didn't show up, like show people my true self, because I was honestly scared. And I'm kind of weird. That's the truth. Your girl's weird. Your girl likes to listen to conspiracy theories at night. Your girl likes playing with her dog. I guess that's not weird, but I'm weird. And sometimes I'm wondering, like, am I going to be judged for that? I'm a little more loud. Maybe I'm a little bit more quiet and reserved in certain times, but you're weird. But then there's moments where I choose to show up fully, and those are the moments I'm most proud of. Winning Miss Fitness America, competing on American Ninja Warrior, starting this podcast, all these things happened because I stopped waiting and I took a leap. I could have waited so much longer to do this podcast. I've definitely been waiting because I want to write a book as well, but I just decided to do it, and just to do it messy, which is again here in my sweats, imperfectly, not with the whole setup, not with all these famous people have, and just with myself and my couch and my dog. And guess what? You can literally do the same thing. So here's my challenge to you. I want you to stop waiting. I want you to stop holding back. I want you to stop telling yourself you'll do it later. And I want you to imagine there is literally no tomorrow, and show up fully today. Take the leap, post the video, start the project, or just tell someone how much they mean to you. Because when you stop waiting and you start acting, that's when life truly begins. Now, if this episode resonated with you, I want you to share it with someone who needs this reminder to live fully. And as always, I want you to keep asking yourself, what if it all goes right? And what if it's all going right already? Until next time, show up boldly, take the leap, and live like tomorrow isn't promised. You got this.